The death of 1,000 paper cuts. That's exactly what this Tiguan is experiencing today. It's bad, guys. Let's find out what's all wrong with this VW. Let's get started. This is a 2009 Volkswagen Tiguan with the 2.0 turbo, which have known to have issues in the VW Audi world. This one's no exception. It has all the issues, all of them. And we're going to show you today, when we tallied up all the repairs, they exceed the value of the car threefold. Let's take a look around this Tiguan. Here's the front of this Tiguan. It doesn't look terrible up front. When we go around to the side, it's got some decent tires on it, some Douglas, I think those are Walmart tires. It does have a rust spot here, right there on the door. Go around to the back. You can see it's got a lot of stickers that have been scraped off on the glass. It is the Tiguan 2.0T. On the passenger side, we do see it's been dented right here on the door. And if we take a quick look at the panel roof, we can see it must be leaking because they have a lot of packing tape or some sort of sealing tape around the whole thing. It must be leaking pretty bad. Let's go ahead and take a peek under the hood. Here is our 2.0T engine. And it's a little dirty in here, but at first glance you can't see the damage that's been done. But I'm going to go ahead and start it up. You should be able to hear the damage of this engine. I've worked on enough of these Volkswagen and Audi 2.0Ts to know long cranking, runs rough, clattering, chattering noise. The timing chain system is on the brink of, it's bad. It takes that long to crank specifically because of the timing chain. We're going to dive into that here in a minute, but Mrs. Wizard, show them around the interior.
Okay, legends, this has 157,224 miles. So, okay, it's got a fair amount of miles. We know German cars aren't always the most reliable here in the States. Okay, but the gauge cluster's looking nice. We look up, okay, so far looking good. The dash is in good shape, not spilling out, not broken. It's very hard. We're hard plastic. Round dials for our HVAC system. Looks like we've got a nice little stereo infotainment screen. Got a very simple to use HVAC control, 3 dials and a couple of buttons. Wow, that's pretty easy. Got some nice little hidey spots right here. One that lifts up, nice. Got one under here as well. And we've got a nice big spot right there. Got some controls right there for our driving controls. Gear selector. Nice little accordion style cup holder. Well, it got some, looks like some, perfume and some lip gloss. Our seats are very nice, ivory leather-esque. Got a very extended headrest at the moment, but still looking good. Kind of got a taupe and a ivory kind of design there on that door card. Again, it's looking really nice. It's a shame that this is having such problems on the outside. The inside's looking good. As we get to our back seat, oh, they've got a little kiddo. Oh, that makes me so sad when we see things like this. It's like, this is not what this person needs right before Christmas, and they've got a little kiddo that they're trying to take care of. Not good. Looking up, I can see some evidence of that leaking moonroof. Not looking good back there, but looks like it definitely has been leaking, and definitely leaking over there above the passenger. Of course, always above the passenger. Let's get back to our steering wheel. Too bad this little star here doesn't fix everything, but again, well, it is a Volkswagen product and it's got a few issues going on underneath that hood. So let's get this up on a lift and see what it looks like on the underneath.
Let's take a look underneath this very poor running VW, poor little thing. So we see oil on the oil pan. It's coming from all the way up top on the front of the engine and dribbling down the front towards the oil pan, and also in the back. All the way up the side. It could be valve cover, gasket, or various other things, but it's got some serious oil leaks going on. You can see the timing cover is also all wet. Check out our wheels. The brakes are about 30 to 40% remaining. CV boots are good. Sway bar link is good. This little boot is torn on the tie rod end. Looks like something's been rubbing here. Like something might have gotten caught at the wheel at some point. I don't see anything currently rubbing, so Whatever it is gone, but definitely something has been rubbing there. On this side, brakes are 30-40%. Torn boot again on the tie rod. CV boots are good. Sway bar link is good. So it looks like some exhaust welding has gone on. Very likely this flexible exhaust joint up here has failed at some point and they welded on a new one and kind of welded it to the cat there. Luckily our catalytic converter is still intact. It hasn't been robbed by the meth heads, but we do see a hole here, an empty hole. That's because this vehicle is front wheel drive only. It does not have all wheel drive or four wheel drive, so there's no drive shaft or anything here. Our exhaust goes all the way back here. It's almost touching this cross member, but not touching yet. Here's our gas tank, which kind of saddles over the exhaust. And then right here would be a differential if we had all-wheel drive, like I mentioned, doesn't have. We'll check our back brakes and things. Looks like about 20% remaining on the back brakes. Sway bar link is good, a bunch of cobwebs. Our shock is not blown. I don't see any serious issues in the back. Sway bar bushings are good, sway bar links are good. 20% on the brakes, shock is not blown. Nothing serious back here on the back. And then we have our 1 into 2 exhaust coming out the back. Really nothing else near the bumper here, so there's a few small leaks and some things going on underneath, but it's really the least of its problems. Also, the tires are bald on the insides, but again, the least of this car's problem. Let's get this thing on the ground. So right in here is where our timing chain resides. It's where all our noise is coming from, all that clacking noise. The timing chain tensioner is extended all the way out as far as it can go, and the chain is still slapping around a little bit. It can get worse, but it's going to need the entire timing chain system replaced. Tensioner, guides, actuator, all the things. But wait, there's so much more. Along with that vicious rattle and all the things we hear and see going on with the engine, it also had the check engine light on. I want to show you all these codes. Alright, so far we have codes: camshaft, crankshaft correlation, random misfires, 1, 3, 4, more crankshaft position, camshaft position correlation, camshaft actuator, bank 1, and then many, many more. So some of the codes you just saw is not all the codes. Daniel's son wrote down and took a picture of the codes so he would keep a record of what all was there, and then he cleared the codes to see what will come back. Those are the ones that did come back, but there is code for fuel pressure on the high pressure rail, too low. Also, there's the cylinder 134 misfire that we saw. It's very likely because of the timing chain situation. Also, it had turbocharger underboost, which we know turbos on the 2.0s love to fail. It also had many other codes. It had a voltage issue with the battery. It just kept piling and piling and piling up. There's so much wrong with this car. I'm going to have to go through it all and just kind of pace it out for you guys. Let's talk about what's all wrong with this thing. So I'm no longer going to be starting the engine. I did it just enough so you guys can hear the noise and so you can see underneath the car, but I'm not going to be starting it anymore. Daniel's son did a lot of checks on this, and when he got the list together, it's so expensive. So on the timing chain issue, he looked at the cam crank correlation. It should be 0, maybe 3, 4, 5 maximum. And it's like at 20. It's so stretched out. It's so bad, which is a common issue on these. That alone, just the timing chain job, is $2,500 to $3,000. The kit, which we use OEM kit, we don't use aftermarket, with all the cam gear, the chains, the guides, the tensioner itself is $1,000, and it's about a 7 or 8 hour job to do the timing chains on here. It adds up really, really, really fast. But there's so much more wrong. I really feel bad for this person because all the things that can be wrong with a 2.0 T, Audi or VW is wrong with this one. You guys mentioned we saw a code for turbocharger underboost. Daniel's son did get the test long out and looked into the turbo housing and saw two things. Not only just the wastegate actuator flap, which is, it won't seal anymore, but he got in there and poked the impeller and saw that it's just floppy in there. It's barely even holding on. It could just grenade at any moment. So the entire turbo is shot. Just the turbo is $1,200. That doesn't pay for the 7 or 8 hours of labor to take it off. Another $2,500 to $3,000. So we're almost at $6,000 already. We still have more to go. The high pressure fuel system is having issues. It's saying low pressure on the high pressure side of the fuel system. Danielson did verify that very likely the high pressure pump is failing, but it could also be the lobes on the camshaft that operate that could also be failing, and it could need a cam and a high pressure pump. There would be some overlap in the timing chain to do the cam, but when you do a timing chain job, you don't have to pull the whole cam cradle off, but you would to do the high pressure pump and cam. So those don't overlap that much. So that adds another $1,000. The high pressure fuel pump by itself, an OEM one, is $500. Now I know there's some cheap ones out there. We don't cheap out on the cheap stuff because it doesn't last. We already have enough trouble with parts today. I just don't chance it anymore with these European cars. So we're at $7,000. And we still have the intakes. He also got the test schlong and looked down in the intake manifold. All the intake valves are just coked up. I mean, they're choked. It needs that service done. $500 for that. $7,500 we're at. The battery is getting weak. It's failing. That's $200 roughly for a battery. That's not a big deal. We've got the oil leak, very likely coming from the valve cover gasket, possibly from the turbo. We did show that the turbo is starting to fail. It could be coming from that as well. We saw also during the inspection, all the brakes are down to 20-30% remaining. They're getting very, very thin. The tires are bald. We saw the bald tires. That alone is probably going to be $800 or $1,000. And by the time we tally everything up, and sales tax, 10% almost here in Kansas. $10,000, guys. Danielson went on to Facebook Marketplace and found a perfectly running Tiguan. Nothing wrong with it. It runs and finds with similar mileage. Here's a picture. It's worth $3,000 to $4,000. Tops for a nice Tiguan of 09, 10, somewhere around in that model year. Even if this one was running perfectly, we still have the dent in the door. We still have the panel roof that's taped up with tape. We have rust going on the body. This might be a $2,500 car. And with the damage to the engine and things going on, $2,000. It's no way you look at it is worth it. Any angle you take, it's not worth it. Well, what if you do the work yourself, Car Wizard? Can't you save some money? You're still going to have the parts prices. Again, $1,000 for the timing chain kit, $1,200 for a turbo, $1,000 for all the other parts you're going to need. You're going to be at the value or more just in parts. No, it's not worth it. And this is approaching 160,000 miles. How much life is left in a VW Tiguan? Maybe 30 or 40,000 miles. And the rest of this car is going to start falling apart. 0% worth fixing this car. Zero. So let's pretend for a minute you're in this person's shoes. It's almost Christmas time. And you just found out that your car is totally not worth fixing. It's going to cost 3 times the value of the car to fix it. And you're still left with a car with dents and dings and a taped up panel roof. That doesn't fix all those things. What do you do? There's a lot of people get to this position, and I get emails sometimes about this. They're like, what the hell do I do, Car Wizard? I don't even know which road to take. Here's what you do. You don't keep driving this till it breaks, because it will further diminish the value. You sell it as is. $1,500, $2,000, $25,000, somewhere around in there. You'll get a little bit of money. Someone could part this out, or maybe they have some extra parts laying around that they could make this work with used parts, which is a gamble. I wouldn't do it. But you could still sell this. Take that money, and you were going to put 10 grand into this thing, put that with the couple of grand you have and get a nice Toyota RAV4. Do not put any money into this car, not a dime. It's time to get rid of the car. Sometimes it's hard for people. They're like, I just don't want to get rid of it. You have to. Because this is a sinking ship, and you're going to go down with it if you don't get out. When you take that route to go ahead and sell your vehicle that's in this condition, be upfront. Don't lie to people. Don't sell to someone who's needing a car and they only have a little bit of money and they're hoping this will get them by. This is not going to get nobody by. You guys know that and I know that. You're just going to give them a sinking ship. That's not cool. That's not a good human thing to do. Tell them, hey, this engine is on its way out. It needs a turbo. It needs this. It needs that. If you can fix it yourself, it's worth it. But just letting you know up front what you're getting into. I'm asking $2,000 or whatever the price. The transmission and all the parts could sell for that if you parted it out. So it's worth that. But again, even if the customer said, I just got to fix it, I'm going to fix it. I did tell Crazy D in the office, we're not going to. It's just such better option to take that money and get a nicer car, get a newer car. Like I mentioned, even if you fixed all the things I just mentioned on here, this car has 30 to 40,000 miles left in its life. That's it. So definitely wanted to get a video out to show you guys sometimes you reach that point with your car where it's done. It's over. It's time to get rid of it. I want to show you that there is a point where you just got to make that decision. I'm not going to put the money into this. I'm going to do something else. So if you're curious what kind of tools we're not going to use to fix this or any other car in the shop, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. Really great gift ideas for the holidays. A lot of the tools we use in the shop we actually use every day are listed for sale there. If you purchase any of them, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because there's many more great stories like this coming down the pike. Thanks for watching.